Coming up on Valley News Live at 10, a Facebook troll inspires a movement to help a neighbor in need.
A nationwide glove shortage is making life challenging for those who need them most.
Plus, why experts are now saying one mask isn't enough. Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
The temperature outside is already single digits below zero, and with the wind chill, double digits, and it'll be colder when you wake up tomorrow.
We're heading straight to Nathan now so you can prepare yourself and, more importantly, your kids for the morning. Nathan?
That's right, Mike and Andrea. It is Arctic cold out there as we speak. Even colder temperatures expected going into that morning commute and at the bus stop tomorrow. So definitely want to maybe put 2 coats on the kids tomorrow, double the hats. You can already see we are 6 degrees below zero in Fargo, 16 degrees below in Grand Forks, 19 below in Devils Lake, 18 below this hour for our friends in Langdon. Badette, the winter, you could say 22 degrees below zero. Here's those current wind chills. Anywhere from 15 to 20 degrees below zero in the Northern Valley. Halleck, that wind chill, 22 degrees below zero. So yes, dangerous wind chills expected, Mike and Andrea, into the morning. Of course, we'll talk about that and talk about when we get a bit of a break from these Arctic cold temperatures coming up in just a couple minutes.
All right, thanks, Nathan.
A Fargo woman is raising money tonight to help someone she's never met. It all started with a Facebook post. Valley News Team's Bailey Hurley spoke with the woman today and breaks it all down.
This is the photo posted to the Facebook group Fargo Can't Park just after 7:30 this morning with the caption, "Good grief."
It just kind of meant in a negative way, like kind of gross.
New comments flooded in by the minute, many chiming in that the man who owned the car was a homeless veteran.
And so that judgment just really sat in my stomach the wrong way.
And it did for many other group members too, some offering to pay for the car's next set of tabs as well as an oil change. But Lake took it one step further, setting up a GoFundMe with the goal of $7,800, which would cover a year of rent in an apartment efficiency plus a security deposit.
I just think it'd be so cool to be able to secure a home for somebody for a year straight, because it takes time to get on your feet. It takes time to work things out if you have mental health issues.
But there's a lot of what ifs left. Like, what if the man doesn't want help? What if he can't be found again? Or what if he's not actually homeless or in need of any financial help?
With that money, we can still make a really big difference. Hopefully it's for him, but if he doesn't want it, then we're going to take it and turn around and make someone else's life incredible too.
Lake says both the Gladys Ray Homeless Shelter and the VA are working with her in hopes of finding the man and will help allocate the money to him if accepted. Adding, while social media is a dark and toxic place, it's up to you to be the change you want to see in the world. In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Lake says as a local business owner, she has no intention of taking the money raised. She also urges those in the community not to try and seek out the man, as the last thing anyone wants is to scare him away. We have a link to Lake's GoFundMe page. If you'd like to donate, just head to our VNL News app and click on this story.
Health officials at Sanford say your position in line for the COVID-19 vaccine could change. It's based on a new algorithm they're developing. This comes after the Biden administration announced today it's boosting the amount of vaccines because of a nationwide shortage. The algorithm is a process for who's next in line based on a list of people who have had COVID compared with what the state and CDC recommends.
Well, really, the issue is the supply of the vaccine. Any vaccine in an arm is a win. We're trying to do it during in accordance with the guidelines, and I think we've been very successful doing that. We're not hoarding vaccines.
Essentia Health tells us that North Dakotans 75 and older and Minnesotans 65 and older are the first to get the vaccine. People in those groups are being picked randomly and notified through MyChart and phone calls.
We all hope that masks will soon be a thing of the past, but for now, health experts are going in the other direction. They're now recommending you wear 2 masks to double your protection. Dr. Anthony Fauci says it makes sense that wearing 2 masks would be effective. Many health experts say an N95 mask alone offers strong protection. With those hard to find, they recommend doubling up as more contagious COVID-19 variants are arriving in the country. They say adding another layer of protection can provide a better seal. Fighting a pandemic is hard enough, but a year into the COVID crisis, Minnesota healthcare providers still face PPE shortages. Take gloves. Manufacturers couldn't meet nearly 40% of the demand last year. That's a shortfall of more than 215 billion gloves. Reporter Jennifer Mayerly discovered who's paying the price.
Pine River Group Home serves people with developmental disabilities in north central Minnesota. Carrie Gaida is its executive director.
We're doing a lot of personal care for some of our folks. We might be helping them with bathing or brushing their teeth.
Staff wear gloves for all of it and can go through dozens in a day.
The PPE works both ways. It protects our residents from our staff and our staff from our residents.
Getting gloves from her normal supplier became challenging over the course of the pandemic, from being told they're back-ordered to running into exorbitant prices.
I spend a stupid amount of time just trying to track gloves down. Also the price has probably tripled. Here I'm in our storage space.
Gaida says it's created a hardship.
Here's our empty cubby for extra large.
They still don't have all the sizes they need, and they pay more for the product they can get.
It was a matter of, well, if this is what it's come to, this is what I'm going to do, but what a shame.
Prishman Facial Plastic Surgery in Edina ran into similar issues.
We have several suppliers, so we called everybody. Couldn't get gloves.
But they had stocked up and then paid a higher price.
So far, we've been ahead of it and been able to find gloves. I worry about the places or the clinics that cannot afford to do that.
And Dr. Jessica Prishman wonders why this problem persists.
Something I would like to hear about is, why aren't there U.S. manufacturers of non-latex gloves, and where are these supplies coming from, and what's happening?
Here's what happened. The demand for gloves increased 2 to 3 times. Everyone from healthcare workers to essential workers to the general public started using them, and the government started stockpiling them.
Everybody worldwide wants these gloves for the same reason, and we're relying on the same sources.
The president of the Health Industry Distributors Association says compounding that is 95% are made overseas in Malaysia and China.
Their capability is key.
While manufacturers ramp up production, he says this will take a long-term solution.
We need a strategy to diversify the supply chain across all geographies, global, near, and domestic sources that will protect us in future pandemics.
That doesn't help providers like Gaida in the here and now.
I couldn't have imagined 6 months ago that I would still be having the problem today. Just disappointing because, again, I want to provide what I'm supposed to provide.
The state investigates claims like Gaida's as price gouging. It's taken at least 40 complaints, ranging from a small town school district to an individual who uses gloves for their medical condition.
A tiger in Minnesota is recovering from the coronavirus. The 21-year-old female tiger lives at the Wildcat Sanctuary in Pine County. Staff noticed lions, tigers, and cougars displaying symptoms earlier this month and tested them. The state veterinarian says this is the second confirmed animal case of COVID-19 in Minnesota.
President Joe Biden has had his first call with President from Russia, Vladimir Putin. The White House said he entered the phone call with the intention of discussing the New START nuclear treaty. But the president reportedly confronted Putin about a massive cyber attack on U.S. agencies, alleged bounties on American troops, and other grievances against the country. The administration says Biden plans to be firmer with Putin during his presidency and may impose new sanctions on the country.
President Biden is expected to reopen enrollment for Obamacare on Thursday, a first step toward making good on a campaign promise to boost the Affordable Care Act. It comes at a time when more Americans may be losing health coverage because of the pandemic. The Trump administration cut open enrollment on the federal exchanges in half to 6 weeks. It ended on December 15th, but Biden has the power to open it back up.
A federal judge in Texas is temporarily putting the brakes on one of President Biden's first actions on immigration. The judge blocking a 100-day pause on deportations after the Texas Attorney General filed a lawsuit against the policy. The argument is that the Biden administration should have consulted Texas before making the decision. The lawsuit claims that's required in an agreement with Texas that Texas signed up with the Trump White House in its final days.
Senators have been formally sworn in as jurors for this second impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump. The Senate is taking up the charge of incitement of insurrection. It has been nearly 3 weeks since a mob breached the Capitol building following a speech by the former president. Senator Rand Paul forced a procedural vote today to show there would not be enough votes to convict the president. However, 5 Republicans voted against the proposal. The trial is set to start the week of February 8th.
As many students are starting to spend more time in school, many are wondering, are COVID mitigation measures working? Up next on Valley News Live at 10, a new study sheds some light on that.
Here's how things look overnight tonight in Fargo, dropping to about 13 degrees below zero with the north wind continuing. Dangerous wind chills expected in the metro. And then here's Grand Forks falling to 20 degrees below zero, even colder wind chills up north. We'll talk about that and talk about the chance of that weekend snow coming up here after break.